I remember when they allowed smoking on a plane.
Oh yeah.
Which is hilarious because that kind of gets into with the COVID stuff. Like the plane has the greatest air filter system out there. So you could literally smoke in the front row and like it didn't affect really far in the back.
No. I remember being stuck in the back because that was the only place I can get a seat was in the smoking section back when people did smoke on planes.
That was
horrible.
in the back?
Yeah, it was in the back. The back was the smoking section where the toilet was. So you'd smell shit and cigarettes the entire flight. Yeah, no, that thing didn't work. I mean, maybe their ventilation systems weren't as good back then, but there was smoke everywhere back there. So even get a photo of the smoking section on an airplane in like the 1980s.
I remember I was playing a club called Riddles in Chicago, just outside. It's like, I forget what the city outside Chicago, but it was one of the last places that you could still smoke inside. And the stage was so high, so you would literally be like in the smoke.
So here's people smoking on an airplane.
That's so crazy, dude. Like when they always announce this is a non-smoking flight, like where are the smoking flights?
I remember we'd get in planes even in the 90s and there were still ashtrays in them.
Is that Alex Jones in the crowd?
Time traveler. I'm a fucking time traveler. That's Alex Jones' dad. Look at all these people smoking. Crazy. Smoking section of a plane. It looks fairly smoke-free. They probably had some ventilation back then. So this is 84 in Miami. Is this when this guy's smoking and they're interviewing him on the plane? Is this when they were trying to ban it?
Yeah, probably. This looks like a conversation.
I seem to be asking people about what they think.
When did they ban it? When did they ban in-flight smoking? Oh, let's take a guess. I'm going to say 94. What do you say?
Oh, I think it's way before that.
87.
Yeah, so 7 years.
Congressional action in 1987 led to a ban on in-flight smoking. In 88, airlines based in the United States banned smoking on domestic flights of less than 2 hours. So more than 2 hours you could smoke, which was extended to domestic flights of less than 6 hours in 1990 and to all domestic and international flights in 2000. International flights, 2000. Pilots were allowed to continue smoking after the 1990 ban due to concerns over potential flight safety issues caused by nicotine withdrawal in chronic smokers. Yo! Due to prohibition of
Let
smoking.
them do whatever they need to do to land the plane. I think.
Yeah,
Fuck it.
give them a fucking patch. The U.S. Federal Aviation Administration regulations mandate that functioning ashtrays be conspicuously located on the doors of all airplane bathrooms. This is because there must be a safe place to dispose of a lit cigarette if someone violates the no smoking rule.
That's why they're there.
1990, Air Canada adopted non-smoking policy on all of its routes. In 94, Canada was the first country to ban smoking on all flights operated by Canadian carriers, which also covered charter flights, but not foreign airlines flying to Canada. Wow. So basically 2000 when they wrapped it all up.
Which I'm happy about.
Yeah.
You can still smoke in restaurants then.
Wow. I remember the Addison Improv used to still have smoking, and we'd come from L.A., and in the early days, the Comedy Store, they had smoking.
That's crazy.
In the 90s, you could smoke indoors. And I remember Drew Carey, of all people, Barney's Beanery, they put a ban on smoking in all restaurants and bars in Los Angeles, and Drew Carey was protesting it. And the idea was that
nuts.
I know, it's
Right?
crazy. He was one of the people. The idea was that like you're going to kill the business, and you're going to also freedom. Like people know that you can smoke there. If you don't want to go to a place that's smoky, don't go there.
Yeah.
But the thing you have to think about is.
But now you can smoke weed indoors.
There, 98, Reason Smokin' with Drew Carey. Yeah. I remember Drew Carey was like a outspoken guy about all this.
That's at Barney's, right?
And he's smoking. He's smoking at Barney's Beanery. I guess he was a smoker. I didn't know he was a smoker.
Yeah,
but
all
that
the
makes sense.
libertarians show up.
But it's all they were like, hey, we've always smoked. Don't take away our freedom. But the thing you have to take in consideration is waitresses and bartenders.
Yes.
Like, those people die from lung cancer because of secondhand smoke. Because if you're only breathing in smoke, the whole place
All the
is smoke.
time. Yeah.
Do you remember that gig we did in Toronto? The weed gig?
Yeah, I call it Gorillas in the Mist because you couldn't see anybody in the crowd. You just see like just black figures moving, dark, shady figures moving in this mist.
The entire room was filled with weed smoke to the point where you literally could barely see. Like you weren't breathing air. You were
Yeah.
breathing weed smoke.
You were contact high the minute your foot hit the stage.
Oh, yeah.
You were bonkers.
Guys who didn't smoke pot would go there.
Done.
I don't think you were smoking pot at
No,
the time.
no.
Guys who didn't smoke pot would go there and be obliterated. Like by the time they did their set, they couldn't remember their jokes. They were confused and anxious and fucking scared. And
Toronto.